The knife is a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in CPM 10V. This is a River's Edge Cutlery exclusive. You guys may remember River's Edge from their Para 3 exclusive about a year ago now. FDE blade, OD green handle. They go for like $500 now on the secondary market. This particular model was teased on Instagram about a day before its release, and the next day they were opened up for pre-orders saying that they were going to be released at the very end of March. As soon as all the pre-orders were placed, they pretty much got the knives the next day and had them shipped out, so we got them a little bit quicker than expected. I went with the satin model here. There is also a DLC option available. I'm not a big fan of DLC personally, so I went with the satin, although I think the DLC looks better with this coyote brown handle personally. The pre-orders lasted almost an entire day, which is actually a really great way to release a sprint, and I'm hoping more companies do the same thing and release things that way, because it gave everybody a pretty good option or pretty good chance to pick up one of these models. This particular model has been in talks for well over a year on Instagram, and River's Edge Cutlery seemed to be the retailer that supported it the most. So there was push for this model to be produced by River's Edge Cutlery and Spyderco. CPM 10V is a steel by Crucible, has 2.45% carbon, 9.75% vanadium, almost 10% vanadium, hence the name 10V, and 5.25% chromium, so it is not a stainless steel. It is a very similar steel to K390 and identical to K294 and A11 from, I think it's Latrobe, I'm pretty sure. 10V is an extremely high wear resistant steel. It's utilizing all of that vanadium and high carbon content to form vanadium carbides, a high amount of vanadium carbides. Sean, who you can find on YouTube as Big Brown Bear, did some testing on his 10V PM2 already and found his was at 64.6 HRC. So that high hardness and carbide volume leads to an extreme amount of wear resistance. In use, this model should perform just under what Maximate is capable of. Maximate only performs better because it has a higher carbide volume and higher hardness. A little bit more or a lot more tungsten in that steel gives it some extra tungsten carbides for wear resistance, as well as some cobalt, letting it get a little bit harder, so you can get that up to 69 or so, as we've seen. 10V though should be a little bit tougher and takes a keener edge. So I wanted to put this thing through the paces and decided to test it a little bit here at home before I started carrying it extensively. I started testing it on some cardboard. About 200 feet or so of it was cut with this particular knife. It cut pretty darn easy. Didn't really show much wear after 200 feet of cardboard. And honestly, if you'd have told me that was the factory edge, I wouldn't have disagreed with you. The factory edge on this, by the way, was very, very good. So I moved on to wood. I cut into a 2x4 that had a couple of knots in it. I picked that particular piece with the knots just to try and stress out the apex a little bit more. I really tried twisting the edge out of those cuts to stress out the apex even more and see if we could get some chipping going on. And through all that testing, I really didn't find any wear to speak of. Pretty impressive. Like I said, the edge that was still there was more than adequate. So although the edge was still in great shape, I went ahead and sharpened it. Started on a DMT course, and it took very little time to remove the factory bevel. It moved around a lot easier than what I thought it would, and took no time at all to have a new bevel put on this knife. I went ahead and progressed on to the DMT fine and extra fine, and the edge deburred excellent. The edge was really, really good off the stones, but I went ahead and stropped it on leather to further refine that edge. 16 and 4 micron CBN on leather, and the edge that came up was very nice and refined. Doing some quick little tests, it cut through phone book paper very, very easily. No real hang-ups to speak of, and it shaved my arm hair very, very easily, and that's not an easy task to do. My arm hair is pretty darn fine, so it takes a pretty nasty edge to be able to shave that cleanly. I was really, really happy with the edge that came up on this knife. in sharpening, this is probably one of the better, one of the easier steels that I've ever sharpened to get that nice, refined, clean edge, especially on a high wear resistant steel like this. I could definitely see this moving into my rotation and being one of my favorite knives that I carry. We will see though. I do have some feelings about the Paramilitary too, but I haven't carried one for over probably 2 years now, so we will see how much my dislike for the PM2 wears off with that. My initial impressions on CPM 10V are very positive, and I very much look forward to putting this through the paces and seeing how it performs over time. At that point, I'll be making a follow-up video on this and giving you guys my my in-depth review on CPM 10V. Alright guys, before I go, I'd like to say a couple of things here. Number one, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to do something a little bit different and a little bit fun. I was kind of getting bored and it was feeling repetitive doing the same type of videos over and over again. So I decided that I wanted to basically do an impersonation of somebody else, somebody bigger in the community, someone who you all know, and that's why I picked Michael Christie. Moving on, number two, I have great respect for Michael Christie. He's basically the OG of all of this YouTube knife testing, and I mean, he's inspired countless others, including myself, to do the same. He's basically inspired a lot of people to get into freehand sharpening as well, which I think is a great thing, and that's a reason why I freehand sharpened in this rather than using my Wicked Edge. So a lot of respect for Michael Christie. I hope he doesn't get offended over the video. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with this one. Number three, if you guys aren't subscribed, please do so. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers, and once we do hit that mark, we will be doing a giveaway here. I'm not sure what I'm going to be giving away yet, but I will. It'll be at least equal to what the previous giveaway was at 500 subs, I think. So you guys don't want to miss that, so please subscribe. Turn on notifications so you guys can see when I post. I'm trying to post a little bit more during this whole quarantine thing, so you guys have a little bit more content to view. So next, who do you guys think I should do an impersonation of next? I'd like to kind of continue this as almost like a series, impersonating bigger channels or more well-known channels, and seeing how good I can do with the impersonations. This one was a lot of fun to record, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun to study somebody else's videos and try and impersonate them the best you can. And lastly, guys, that's really all I have for you. I am very much looking forward to testing the crap out of this knife, and obviously I'll be doing the edge retention stuff. I'll probably do the whole in-depth long-term carry thing like I've done with Max Met and Rex 45 and a couple others. So stay tuned for that, and that's all I got for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.